Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and Wargaming did a little bit of a whoopsie. But the whoopsie this go round actually benefits you quite greatly if you're looking to get one of these two high-tier premium ships. So this news is actually a couple of days old, and someone mentioned it in one of my comment sections, but I didn't see the announcement anywhere, so I wasn't sure if it was legit or not. But anyway, turns out it is legit, and yeah, it is a little bit of a whoopsie on Wargaming's part. So what happened was, back when 14.6 was originally announced via the dev blog, which is the current update if you're wondering, there was many spreadsheets put into that dev blog concerning the price changes that were happening with the content rarity and ship removal systems being introduced in the game in this update. Now, if you didn't catch what happened with this update, Wargaming went and classified pretty much every ship, not pretty much, literally every ship in the game now belongs to one of several classifications. We have common, which are tech tree ships, uncommon, which are ships you can pick up in the armory or premium shop for doubloons, rare ships, which are some of like the coal ships and such, and then you've got the, the epic, which are like dockyard ships, and legendary, which are ships like Kitakami and Alabama ST, and things that's, truly hard to acquire. But anyway, depending upon where a ship is at in that content rarity system, that now dictates its price, along, of course, with its tier. So with this new system, of course, this led to quite a number of ships in the game having their prices adjusted one way or another. In all honesty, most of the ships actually went down in price, like the doubloon ships and such. A couple of like high tier, like tier 10 resource, steel, and research bureau ships, their price did go up slightly, but for the vast majority, the prices went down slightly, or in some cases, like the Graf Zeppelin, a lot. So anyway, of course, players were eager to, know what ships they were going after were going to cost in this new system. So along with this dev blog, there were spreadsheets which had the prices of ships in the new system. But Wargaming went and slipped up with two ships: the Tier 10 Commonwealth Light Cruiser, the Brisbane, and the Tier 9 Pan-European Destroyer, the Jagger, were labeled incorrectly. Apparently, these two ships were supposed to belong in the rare category instead of the uncommon category that they were labeled as in the dev blog. So that meant that their price was, significantly cheaper in the dev blog than what they were meant to be in 14.6. And when 14.6 came out, sure enough, the Brisbane and the Jaeger were actually priced as rare Tier 9 and Tier 10 premium ships, which of course led some players saying, hey, Wargaming, in the dev blog, these ships are labeled as uncommon ships, and they were quite cheaper in that uncommon category rather than the rare category. And Wargaming actually went and said, you know what? Yeah, we did label them as uncommon in the dev blog and not rare. In fact, this is the statement that they said. Captains, with the release of update 14.6, Brisbane and Jaeger were updated to have their correct rarity grade of rare, along with associated pricing. However, we recognize that this change was not clearly communicated from the information provided within the original content rarity system devblog announcement, in which they were indicated as uncommon rarity. While devblog content is subject to change, we understand some of you planned around these prices, and we apologize for not clearly communicating this. As such, Brisbane and Jaeger will have a discount applied for the duration of update 14.6, which will bring them to the originally announced price. Please note that with the release of update 14.7, they will return to the standard pricing associated with rare ships. If you have already purchased one of these ships prior to the application of the discount, we'll be issuing a partial refund for the difference in price. This will take place once we've collected a list of affected players, and we will issue an announcement when this refund is complete. So, look at that. Wargaming made what amounted to a typo, and they even called it, and they changed it when the patch went live, but they acknowledged that they failed to clearly communicate that this change was happening, and now they are honoring the original price for the duration of 14.6. So for the entire duration of 14.6, which it went live, last week? So you've got basically the rest of June, first week of August, to buy the Brisbane and Jaeger at a discounted price. How much of a discount, Sealord? Well, we'll start with the Jaeger since she is a tier 9. The Jaeger is currently priced at 180,000 coal because that is the price of a uncommon tier 9 coal ship, instead of the 215,000 coal that she would be in the rare category. So that's a 35,000 coal difference between uncommon and rare. So that is quite a bit of coal you can save by picking up the Jaeger right now if you're interested in her. The Brisbane is an even larger discount as she comes in at 260,000 coal, currently in the tier 10 uncommon slot. But once she gets bumped back up to the rare slot, she will cost 310,000 coal. That is a 50,000 coal discount on the Brisbane. So that too is obviously not an insignificant amount of coal. Now keep in mind that these ships, even though they're being sold for uncommon prices right now, they are in fact rare ships. So you can get a shiny blue rare ship for the price of an uncommon ship right now, if you care about that kind of thing. Both these ships, in my humble opinion, are quite good. We literally were talking about Jaeger in yesterday's video, how terrifying it is to play against her. If you are a torpedo boat lover and you love consistent torpedoes, you will love the Jaeger. You can get her torps up to around 95 knots, so just shy of 100 knots with, commander skills and modules, which is stupid. They have around a 60-second reload. If you have Jersey Swirsky, you can get that reload down even faster with 8 torpedo hits, right? So the thing is just ridiculous. It's one of the more comfortable torpedo boats from the viewpoint of just getting the torpedoes on target. Like if I, a filthy battleship main, can get consistent torpedo hits with Jaeger, you can too. Trust me. Now, it is essentially a tier 4 ship that's been turbo upcharged to tier 9, so your guns are just more for show than anything. It's all in the torpedoes. You don't have a smoke screen. You get an engine boost. You get a really good concealment rating. You can get it down to 5.4 kilometers, and you do get a heal, so that does certainly help you there. So when you're being stealthy and undetected and you're slinging torps left, right, and center, the Jaeger is an amazing ship. The Brisbane is a tier 10 Minotaur with HE. We were talking about the Brisbane not that long ago because she's returning to the armory for doubloons, which she was already available for coal, but Wargaming is adding her back for doubloons for reason. But now that she's literally at a discounted price for coal, I would most certainly pick her up for coal rather than doubloons right now. But yeah, it's a Minotaur with HE. You give up the improved pin angles and all that jazz on the AP and a little bit of your reload time to get HE and AP. But the reload time is still certainly good enough to, HE spam with the best of them. You also get longer range torpedoes on the Brisbane as well. It's basically Radar Minotaur with HE and longer range torpedoes and a couple of tweaks here and there. She also gets the 12 kilometer Nevsky radar, which if you build into it with the coal module and the flag and the commander skill, you get a 26-second 12.5 kilometer radar, which is just stupid. So that's insane on a ship that has this level of DPM. And if you are a Radar Minotaur fan and you don't have the Brisbane yet, this is a great time to pick up the Brisbane. It's a wonderful side grade to Radar Minotaur. It's certainly a ship that when I play it, it seems that the game decides to hand me just god-awful matchmaking. I played for about an hour to get a halfway decent game in the Brisbane for the background footage for this video. I had 3 matches that zeroed out in under 8 minutes, which it's insane. To zero out, you have to essentially lose half of your team in a very, very few minutes without even touching a cap, and that happened 3 games almost in a row when I was playing the Brisbane. The rest were god-awful, just blowout matches and all that jazz. But anyway, yeah. So, I don't know. When I touch the Brisbane, the game gives me terrible matchmaking for whatever reason. But it is a good ship, you know. It is a ship that once I get a competent team and, you know, I get a map that isn't wide open, or I don't get spawned to the flank that's wide open, you know, I got some island cover to dart in and out of and, you know, use that to, you know, lob my shells over. It's most certainly a very good ship. And of course, if you're good at playing Radar Minotaur, you're not going to have any problem at all in Brisbane. So the 2 ships I would highly recommend. You can get them at a bit of a discount right now. And of course, we got to give props to Wargaming, because this is something they could have 1000% has said, well, it's in the dev blog, things are subject to change, and we changed it. They could have just said that and slammed the door. And I mean, they're not wrong. At the bottom of every dev blog, it says that this information is subject to change. So they very well could have done that and just said, oops, well, yeah, that it is what it is. But nope, they said we're going to honor the price that we had in the dev blog, even though the price was a typo. So kudos to Wargaming for that. That is a very good move for them. So, you know, once again, let this goof up from Wargaming be to your benefit. Take advantage of this if you're waiting to pick up the Brisbane or the Jagger. I know I'm a little bit behind on announcing this news, but you got the rest of 14.6 to take advantage of it. So you still got a month left to do this. So, yep. Again, I would highly recommend picking them up if you are a torpedo boat player or if you are a Minotaur fanboy. So, guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Do you think it's good of Wargaming for keeping up, for honoring the original prices, I should say, instead, and all of that good stuff? And if you are planning on picking up the Brisbane and the Jagger, let us know that down below as well. Or if you have one, let us know how you enjoy those ships. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end on that note. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful, what day is this coming out? Wonderful Tuesday. And again, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, all that jazz. I think I said that already. Okay, I'm going to go now. Goodbye.